Shankaracharya Keshavam Patarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beta Vibhakini Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ukaro Anthakaro Vai Rukarastan Anthakara Nirodhitvad Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vitvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrinkarane. Today we are going to see shloka number 21. I will read. Punarapi jananam Punarapi maranam Punarapi janani jadare shayanam Iha samsare bahudustare Kripaya pare Pati murare. Once more. Punarapi jananam Punarapi maranam Punarapi janani jadare shayanam Iha samsare bahudustare Kripaya pare Pahi murare. We will look into this meaning of this very famous shloka in the Bhaja Govindam. The word punaha means again. So when you say 2 times punaha, punaha means again and again. 2 times it is used in the first line. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Our religion, Indian traditional religion or Hindu religion believes in the rebirth, while other religions don't believe about the rebirth. There are some factors which will decide what will be our next birth. We are going to see in a light way, because we need that basic information to know this slogan. I told you we believe in rebirth. We also believe in the past births also. The point is how we can believe in rebirth or in the births which we have already gone through. What is the proof? Atmajnana Vishaye Shastram Eva Pramanam. We have listened the sentence from traditional teachers. With regarding to Atmajnanam, Vedanta Shastra is the means, Pramanam, valid means. Similarly, Vedas are the means of knowledge to know about the death and the birth of an individual or of a living being. We collect these informations from the Vedas. Thus, we get this information which is very important compared to other religions' beliefs. While other religions believe after human birth, there is no other birth. One will go through papis, go to Naraka, go to the world of punishments, or one will reach heaven. This is the main conclusion of other religions. While after collecting the information from the valid means of knowledge, what we call Vedas, the fundamental scriptures of our tradition, we get the information that each and every individual will travel from one body to the another body unless they get the knowledge of real self. Up to that, there will be always a traveling. And we call this traveling called cycle. Cycle of death and birth. And in Sanskrit, it is called samsara. Sarati, travels. Samyak sarati, gaining the punya and paba, virtue and vice. The results of evil actions, the results of noble actions, all mixed together will decide which birth we will get in the after giving this body. And we have solid proofs that proof of previous birth was there. How we have seen certain kids were playing violin at the age of 3 or at the age of 5. Even though that kid is a child of a doctor, the kid doesn't have any idea about the medicines or any idea about the surgery, etc., etc. But that kid is completely filled with the information to how to play violin or guitar. At the age of 5 or 4, they play certain things which is not connected to their parents. How do they get this? From their previous birth. They have already done all these things in their previous birth. And with this vasanas, they will enter into somebody's womb. It may be a doctor or somebody else. And they come to this world and they continue their previous vasanas through their body right now. There are proofs for everything in practical. We don't need any proof. We believe in the scriptures of our tradition. And it says that there is birth after this death. And Bhagavad Gita also echo this matter. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinnati naroparani tada sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. The same thing is echoed, repeated by Bhagavad Gita also. Just giving up the old clothes, a man used new clothes to live a life. Similarly, when the body finishes its prarabdha, or no more it cannot survive in this world, then this body will shut down. It will give up. This jiva will give up this body and will continue in this world with another body. This is told by Lord Krishna in the second chapter itself. Kathopanishads also say certain things much less similar to this. Yatha karma yatha shrutam yoni madhye prapatyande stanumanye prapatyande. All these things are told in Kathopanishad also. Now come to Bhagavata, Lord Krishna's history, story. What Bhagavata says, it talks about one rishi called Bharata, who was taking care of a baby of a deer. And he gave up his body thinking of this baby deer, that who will take care of this deer after my period. He was thinking about this deer at his last days. And with his last birth, this notion continued. Then he entered into a deer body in an ashram. We have proofs from Puranas also. And he understood that even though he was a jnani, a mukta purushaha, because of the notion about the deer continued in the last time, he entered into a deer body. Then next birth, he didn't think about anything, and he entered into another human body, and he took another human body and called it Jada Bharata. There is a very beautiful story regarding this. Just we have to take the gist, the moral of the story, that there are previous births for an individual. After that, there are later births for an individual. That's all we need. There are proofs from our tradition. Don't argue with other religions while you believe in the Punarjanma. I prefer not to talk about any kind of birth and death cycle to another person who believe in another religion, because your beliefs belongs to you only. You need not to convey anybody unless they want to know, because both are having different opinion. A discussion will not end in a nice way. Always. When you discuss with a different opinion on one thing, the only thing will happen is one will win, one will lose. When you have to know the truth behind the thing, a truth behind the fact, and you argue with a different opinion, there you will come to know the truth. When the person don't believe about the truth what you are saying, and he have another thing in his hand, then the discussion will be ending in certain unusual way. So I prefer, we believe in Punarjanma, we believe the past births, and we go along with the tradition. Most of the religions don't believe in the Punarjanma or the past births. That's why they enjoy by killing innocent animals in this world. You know that. If you come to know, the evil actions will attract evil results, and these results will make us to end up in another body, which will be an animal, which will also get the same torture what I have done to an animal or a bird. I will attract the same torture by doing some torture or harmful acts towards an animal or a bird. Nobody have this idea. That's why they are involved in animal farming. They are involved in different cultivation of animals like plants only for killing and eating. Animal farming is the worst thing to happen in this empirical world. Lots and lots of birds and animals are being cultured just for killing and eating. Can you imagine? A pig will be always put in the cage for lifelong. Every 3 months, the piglets will be born, and after 1 month again, they will inject this mother pig to get the piglets. Similarly in the cows, similarly in the bird species, etc., etc. Why? They don't have the idea what torture or what harmful acts they do in this world will come towards them like a boomerang going from your hand and going around the ground and come towards you. Similarly, and there is a slogan in Yoga Vasishtam. Yoga Vasishtam is a book which are the verses told by Vasishta Munivar to Rama. And this Muni is saying one word, one sloga. Yatha sahasreshu denushu vatso gacchati mataram tada sarvani karmani kartaram anugacchati. The meaning is, among the 1,000 cows, the calf will only run towards its own mother. It will never miss the mother to find out. Similarly, all the results of the karmas done by an individual will only go towards that same individual. It will never miss to reach the target. So there is birth after giving up this body unless you get enlightened by the knowledge of Brahman. Jnanam vina na mukti. Without the knowledge of Brahman, there is no liberation. Suppose we didn't put effort to know what is Brahman, what is the reality of the life, what is the reality behind the creation, all these secrets being revealed by Vedanta Shastra. If we don't put effort, we are an ordinary person. We may be a millionaire. We may be a rich personality in the society. We may have certain abilities to conquer the world. We may be having a great heritage from the family side. All these things are all okay, but it will not contribute the knowledge of Brahman. It can only attract certain rewards or awards from this empirical world, or it may also attract certain good comments to your life because of your abilities in this empirical world. That doesn't have any connection with the knowledge of Brahman. Shastram and Guru are the two factors to give up this body and not to take the body again after giving up this body. Shastram and Guru and a prepared mind. So, there are 84 lakhs of living beings in this world, it is told in different Puranas. 84 lakhs of living beings being there, we only discovered up to now almost 44 lakhs of living beings in this earth. What are gone beyond, like dinosaurs, etc. Even now, every year in certain jungle, they will discover new types of butterflies, new types of another species, etc., etc. Everything, if we make an account, we will get only 44 lakhs. Still 40 lakhs of living beings are being told in the Shastra, like celestial being, like Devas, Airavatam, four-tusked elephant, Airavatam Yanai. All these things are being explained in Shastram, different species. We have noticed in the Indian temples, like Vyali, a lizard having a big tongue and everything in the front door of the temple, which is not there here now. Some monitor lizards may spit fire, they say. This type of species are there or may be there in some other planets or place. What I am telling, up to this understanding of the science, we have only discovered almost 44 lakhs of living beings in this world. We can classify them into 4 groups. Shvetachaha, Andajaha, Utpijaha, Jarayujaha. 4 groups. Again, I will repeat. Shvetajam, those who comes out like bugs and flies, etc., etc. Shvetajaha, who comes in a particular temperature. They don't have any control in their body for the temperature. They will just come out in the world in a particular temperature. They are called Shvetajaha. 6-legged creatures, Puchi, Pate, etc., etc. Flies, mosquitoes, bugs, all these things. Andajaha, next group, those who are born out of eggs. Andajam. Anda jayate, the andajam. Andam, egg. Utpijam, splitting the ground in the earth and comes out. Plants, trees, etc., etc. Herbs, plants, trees, etc., etc. Utbijaha, they grow looking towards the sun by piercing this earth into 2. From the seed, they will come out of the ground. Utbijaha. Jarayujaha, those creatures who milk their babies. Jarayujaha. We have studied these 4 groups in Tattvabodha, etc., etc., a basic text of Vedanta. I will repeat these 4 group. Shvetajaha, Andajaha, Utpijaha, Jarayujaha. Among them, human being will be under the category of Jarayujaha, last group. Jarayuja. Give birth by stomach, womb, etc., etc., and they will give milk to their baby is called Jarayuja. But the human birth will get for an individual or a jiva, while when the 50% punya and when the 50% papa is there. 50% of punya and 50% of papa being there, a human birth will happen for a jiva. Up to that, it may continue in certain other births, like a crow, like a cow, like a tulasi plant, maybe flies, etc., etc. Brahma Kida Janani. From the small worm to the Brahma, all are jivas. In any jiva, one can go. When the jiva acquire 50% of punya and 50% of papa, then there will be a question arising. How a cow get punya? When the cow gives the milk, not only for the calf, for others also, the account of the cow will get some punya in the account of the cow. Similarly, the plants, one tree will provide 1,000 mangoes, not for it. All the mangoes are eaten by a lot of species and human beings. So that tree will accomplish some punya by doing certain actions, what it is called naisargikam. By creation itself, it is like that only. We need not inform any tree to distribute the mangoes for species or human being. It is there, anybody can come and pluck. So all the species in this world have a capacity by doing sadharma itself, they can acquire punya in their account. So by doing sadharma, each and every jiva will get elevated in their birth. From the inferior birth, they will go to the superior births. When the punya and the papa get equally 50% each other, then a human birth is happened in this world. And we know the specialities of human birth. Swechaya karma pravanada. I can do an action. I can think not to do an action. I can do an action in an opposite way. Kartum shakyam. I can do an action. Akartum shakyam. I can decide not to do an action. I can do an action in the opposite way. Kartum shakyam. Akartum shakyam. Anyathava kartum shakyam. Because of my free will. I can stop to eat meat and eggs if I decide. I can continue to eat meat and eggs if I decide. I can also choose for 1 month I will eat and for another 1 month I will stop. So I can choose my action according to my will. Not for a lion to choose an action to stop the meat. Not for a cow to start to eat the meat. It will only go along how it is pre-programmed by the creation. There is no choice in action for any living beings in this world. Only human beings have the choice in action due to the free will. I told you, in the opposite way also, I do sometimes my actions. That is why the one and only living being in the world who commits suicide, human being. No other living being in the world commits suicide. Why? We can do in the opposite way. I can use my free will in any manner, which is very much to be with me in a harmonical way. In a disharmonical way also I can use. That is why we commit suicide in the human world. We make atom bombs to kill others. No other living being in the world will try to kill other living being unless they are in a mating season or some other things, they will fight to know who is strong. For that only, they don't try to kill any other animal like what we have done. Human being invented bombs, fishing nets, hooks, how to tackle each and every living being. This is being invented by human being because his free will work against the will or against the creation also. That's why anyathava kartum shakyam. In the opposite manner also, our will used to work. It may also work in a harmonical way. It can also work in a disharmonical way. That's why it is called free will. Very important word. No other living being having this free will. We got totally ruling this creation. Human being having the free will, not the strength. By strength, if you analyze lion, elephant, those living beings are more strengther than human being. Still, they didn't get the over control in this creation. Only human beings are controlling the creation. Why? One is free will. Another is discrimination. What is right and what is wrong? No other animals having the discrimination. This discrimination also, the free will also loaded with being human beings by the creator. The human being got the overlordship in the creation. We are supposed to take care of the creation, but for the time being, we are just destroying the beautiful creation by encroaching the lands, deforestation, killing the animals for eating, etc., etc. By doing all these things, human beings are not taking care of this world, even though Lord has given all kinds of abilities to take care of this world. Okay. So these are the specialities of a human being. Because of the discrimination and the free will, he used to compare himself to another living being or another human being. And he will try to change his appearance, his mentality, his way of living, everything by comparing to another human being because of the free will and because of the discrimination. This comparison also invites sadness also in one human being. Oh, I don't have like him or her. We used to think like that, correct? Whether in terms of money, in terms of beauty, in terms of situations, in terms of children, in terms of career, in terms of different things, we compare with others and we feel grief and sadness ourselves because of comparison. And we will try to change all the time. We want to change ourselves by looking at the world, by comparing to other things in the world. This constantly changing in Pujya Dayananda Swamiji's world. I want to change. I want to change. This constantly thinking about I want to change is called samsara. Pujya Swamiji says that. I am a wanting person and I have an idea to change myself. I am not accepting myself, what is given by the creation. I want to change because I don't accept myself, what is given by my good things and by my evil things. That account has given a body, what is given. I can't accept myself. Self non-acceptance will make the person always to involve in certain karmas and to become change from right now to another form. This is called samsara. This is an explanation of Swami Dayananda that constantly an individual try to change oneself by comparing to others or looking at the world or observing the others, and self non-acceptance will become a crucial, will become a major defect in oneself. And Vedanta talks about self-acceptancy. You are Purnaha. In spite of all the limitations with the body, in terms of mind, in terms of causal body, in terms of your situations, you are limitless. You are unlimited. Purnamata Purnamidam. What a beautiful explanation. This will help the person to accept oneself with all kinds of defects, with the body, with the mind, with the situation. I am completely free from all these defects because I am Parabrahman. This is the knowledge given by the Vedanta. Of course, this shloka matters for that knowledge. If you don't come to know this knowledge, if you are not under the realm of a traditional guru because of your punya, this is something to be happen because of our punya, to study under a traditional teacher for a length of time. Most of the people may miss because of their selfish motivations and selfish desires. They will be always self-centered, looking at this fascinating world, and they want to achieve certain things in this empirical world, what we call material world. And they will be behind these simple targets. I want to be rich. I want to get 3 children to be settled. I want to make another house in another country. I want to do that. I want to do that. All these self-centered ideas will carry the individual to the empirical world by giving up the obvious thing that has to be done in one's life. Just they will be carried away by their selfish motivations and self-centered ideas when it is not informed by a traditional teacher or their parents, whoever it may be. Then when they give up this life in this world, just living a material life in this world, they will give up their life. What will happen to them? Like Nachiketas asked to Lord Yamadharma in this Kathopanishad, is there any life after giving up the body? If it is there, may you please answer. If it is not there also, please, may you make me to understand. Because there is a doubt in this world where I came. Some people say that there is birth after giving up this body. Some people say that there is no birth after giving up this body. I need to clarify this doubt, and you are the right person to clarify this doubt. And in Kathopanishad also it explains beautifully. In some other Upanishads also it explains. When we give up the body by not knowing the intrinsic nature of an individual, that I am not subject to death and birth, I am this pure consciousness which is eternal, which is Anandam, which is in the form of Satyam. All this knowledge only occur while you study under a traditional guru. But most of the people in this human world are not informed to this fact. That is why Lord Krishna says in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the name of the chapter itself is a very beautiful name. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. Guhya Yoga, very secret. Guhyam, very secret. Raja Vidya, the knowledge which is king among the all other knowledge. Raja Vidya. Raja Guhyam, most secret knowledge. Even though it is obvious, each and every living being is Brahman, still they will miss to know that I am Brahman, and they give up their body. And after giving up this body, now our sloga comes into picture. They will get into another mother's womb. Punarapi Jananam. After giving up this body, they will enter into another body of the mother's womb. Or they will enter into the food of the father, and the father eat the food, and it will become the semen, and it will be injected to mother. Then the jiva continues to live in this body, in another body. Then how it is measured? How can we understand that which body they will get in the next birth? How we can evaluate? How we can meet together that giving up the body and getting another body, how the things will be? What are the measuring rules? What are the rules to get another body? That is what is told yatha karma yatha shrutam in Kathopanishad. According to our karmas, what we have done in this life, it has already having certain results. If these actions are evil, we will be having certain evil results. And if we have done some noble actions in this world, we will having some noble results. They are called punya and papa. And we have done lots and lots of evil actions in my life. After giving up this human body or any other body, the person will enter into an inferior body, which will attract a lot of sufferings. A politician means he was supposed to help the humanity and the entire living beings in the country. Nowadays, politicians are having hidden agendas. They will come into power and they will loot the money of the society and the human being, and they will fulfill their self-centered ideas and they will die. Just I am giving an example. Not all the politicians, just I am giving a general example. Now, what will be the politician will end up? How this politician will be going through the next birth? The money he has taken from different people, he has to repay for each and everybody. Sometimes he will become an earthworm in the person's house from whom he has looted the money. And he has to work for that person. Sometimes he may become a dog. Sometimes he may become a cow. Somehow he has to repay. In the Brahma Vaivarta Purana and in the Garuda Purana, the birth and the actions are being listed. If you cheat a young girl, this will be your birth. If you loot the money from somebody, this will be your birth. Lord Vishnu says to Garuda in Garuda Purana. Nowadays, all these Puranams are available in each and every language. Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, every languages. You can read. After listening to Vedanta, Purana is a cakewalk for you. You can read that. No problem. Brahma Vaivarta Puranam and Garuda Puranam talks about the different births according to one's own karmas. So, our karmas will judge, will decide which will be our next birth. Nowadays, wild hogs in certain places, the pigs which lives in the forest, it's a plenty now. And pig farming is also very plenty. Pigs are very intelligent animals. In fact, they can understand more than 200, 300 smells what the dogs used to sniff and comes out. Pigs are very intelligent, more than dogs. They can sniff in certain countries. Police officers used to keep pigs in the same category of dogs. They can sniff bomb, etc., etc. Narcotics, bomb. They are trained, and the pigs can be easily trained than a dog. Lot of features are there, good features are there for pigs. Only disadvantage is that every 3 months or 4 months it will give 12 or 13 babies, And this being an advantage for a human being to eat their meat, I will come. How a pig birth will happen? When you give to others some food which are not eligible to eat, we make others to eat what is an improper food, correct? For example, once in India, a few years before, the world famous Maggi is been banned. You know why? In the Maggi, they include lead. Lead is a metal which will give easy temperature and it will become like worms. Even though it is very stiff and hard, once you put inside the water and when it boils, because of the presence of the lead, the Maggi will become like worms, noodles, even though it is stiff and hard. The government has given permission to add lead, but in a small quantity. But for the sake of enjoyment, they have used the quantity of the lead more than what can be consumed, what cannot be tolerated by a human body. Thus, it got banned. Now I come to my standpoint. When you give certain food which is not proper to a human being and you supply in a vast amount, means you give some improper food for others and you make them to eat what is not a food. It's a toxin or a poison. And those people get affected by that because of our ill idea, worst idea. To make money, I have to give something good food for the humanity. We don't think like that. In order to make money, something I have to give very attractive to the human world, and I will make money. So now what will happen to this person? He made others to eat what is not a food. Now he has to take a birth. What is not to be eaten, he has to eat. Most of the pigs are being provided the waste from the hotel. Can you imagine? In the pig farming, they collect the waste from the hotels. What is left, like bones of the animals, the old stuffs which are not more, you cannot use anymore because it's already spoiled. Even though it was a good dish yesterday, due to the temperature, it is spoiled today. So you just put in the garbage and this garbage will be taken to the pigs. Can you imagine? All the pig farming people used to carry, they will go to each and every hotel and they will collect these garbages and the waste and the food and everything, which are not at all ready to consume by a human being. Those things will be fed to pigs and these pigs will be made into rice. This is how a human being birth will go to a pig body after having a death. I just give a logic. When you feed another person by giving inappropriate food, you will also take a birth to eat inappropriate food in your life. Somehow, evil actions will attract evil results, and evil results will bring inferior birth in your life. It's very important. This is how all the things what we do which are not to be done in this world while living will attract an evil result. These results will end up in inferior bodies. It can end up in mosquito. It can end up in flies. It can end up in a deer in the forest. It can end up in a cow. Sometimes it can end up a body which is unfit to live in this world. People used to come in this world having certain defects in the body due to their past karmas. Understand? Only Lord has to help them. So, in this shloka, now we will understand this shloka. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. People go through the birth and death cycle again and again, what we call samsara. And they will go to the mother's womb and they will come again to this world, which is endless. This samsara will go round. After death, I will take a birth. After death, again I will take a birth. This samsara will continue. This is being told by the first two lines of this shloka. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again gaining the birth after giving up the present body. Again you will gain another new birth after giving up that body. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again you will sleep in the mother's womb without knowing anything. All your life is given to the mother's womb. Whatever mother eats, that will be given to you. As a human being, I will be guided by my parents till the age of 15 or 12. You should do that, you should not do that. My life has given to my parents. According to the parents' view and according to the parents' information, I will be raised. I don't have a choice up to the age of 15. Then only we will start to think about the world and about my life. So mother's womb means in an unconscious state. You don't have any idea where you are sleeping, where you are laying down. An unmanifested condition of a life form is being presented by saying mother's womb. Punarapi janani jadare shayanam. Shayanam. Unconscious sleep. Again and again going through the death and birth cycle and again having this unconscious sleep. Ajnana nidra. Not knowing the reality, I will come again to this world and live my life according to my likes and dislikes, even though I have enough capacity to study. I will not study what is to be studied sometimes. I will not gain this information that I am this Param Brahman, Purnaha, Triptaha, Shantaha. People used to miss. And they will go through the samsara again and again. And this samsara is very dramatic, can give lots and lots of struggles in each and every stages, gives lots and lots of challenges, lots and lots of grief, lots and lots of sad, pain, etc., etc. Samsara is not a beautiful thing to continue. Even though our body don't have any issues, I can enjoy a Mysore Pak, I can enjoy this world. Still, Shankara says that Iha samsare bahudustare, it is filled with the pain, struggles, and challenges which you may not be easily capable of handling that. Iha samsare bahudustare. It's very terrible. It's not very easy to go through this life and birth cycle, death and birth cycle. You have to come out of this samsara. Samsara mukti. Jnana deva kaivalyam. Through the knowledge only one can come out of this samsara. What knowledge? Ignorance being there, the only solution is knowledge. Knowledge is the only solution for ignorance. What ignorance I am having? I have misunderstood myself. I am this human body and I am here to enjoy this world and I am endowed with 5 senses and these 5 senses are extroverted and I can see things, I can buy things, I can enjoy things and I have to enjoy again and again in different ways. This is called ajnanam. Any wrong information regarding myself, if it is born, the one and only cause is ignorance, ajnanam. Not knowing my reality, I think I am this body and these 5 senses which are extrovert. Iha samsare bahu dustare. This samsara is bahu dustaram. Being filled with lots and lots of pain and struggles, may one focus to the relief of this samsara. May one focus the mind to come out of this samsara. For that, kripaya apare pahi murare. May one pray, may one do prayers in front of Murari, Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna Perumal. He's been told in the form of Murari. Mura is an evil demon and he was been killed by Lord Krishna. So, enemy of the Murari. That Murari is the only solution to get a purified mind. By doing the prayers in front of the Murari, a person will be eligible or qualified to get this glorious knowledge. A pure mind is the ready mind to absorb this knowledge completely. So, in order to the purification of the mind, Adi Shankara says that again and again thinking the struggles, challenges, and the pain of the samsara, samsara will seems to be attractive. This is called Maya. In Maya, anything which doesn't have that quality will appear as though it has that quality. Like a rolled gold. It is not gold, we know that. It is just a covering. But it seems to be attractive. This attraction is due to Maya. The samsara will be more attractive to an ordinary person or a samsari. But samsara will not be no more attractive for a discriminative person who know the knowledge of Atman. For the sake of understanding the knowledge of Atman, may one do prayers, may one do sadhanas, keeping the Murari in their mind, keeping this Lord Krishna in their mind. Because of his kindness towards you and the humanity, he will make you to be purified with your mind, and one get eligible, one get qualified to receive this glorious knowledge. This is the meaning of this shloka. I will read the next shloka and I will continue the shloka in the next session. Okay. Charpata virachita kantah punya punya vivarjita pantah yogi yogina yojita chitto ramate balon mattavadeva. We will see the explanation of this sloka in the next session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.